What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another week of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, raised after three trilogies and my pops, my mom, and my grandmother. Please make sure you go follow at Emax Stats for all your up-to-date high school, collegiate, and pro sports coverage. Will not disappoint. I'm going to keep you up to date. You can follow me on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And as always, I am Nathaniel on this podcast with all my brethren. So, fellas, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey man, Sean Hart is old charismatic, good excellence at its finest. That's Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Snapchat, Cash App, you name it, man. Let's go.
Yo, it is the host with the most that blows the most smoke, Black Peace, the rap plug, the hip hop plug. You already know. Be sure to check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we're Talking Smoke podcast. And yeah, we're keeping it 100. Let's go.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. My name is Sedacious Xavier Miles, and on behalf of me and my brothers, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. We love you all very much. Take it away, bro.
Definitely. And shout out to our brother Christian, controversial Coach Johnson. He's not on the part tonight. Salute and shout out. Happy birthday to his lovely wife, Miss Jordan. So yeah, Coach Johnson definitely. God said the same. Be back next week and give us some more good conversation on the NFL division after the divisional round this upcoming weekend. This podcast, we have a really great podcast. I think our podcast has definitely grown in terms of just our chemistry, our bond, our conversation, our content, what we produce out there on social media, our videos, and so on and so forth. And this podcast isn't necessarily a nasty podcast, but we're about to get into a very nasty conversation. We're definitely about to get into a nasty conversation. Some may know, some may not know the pastor, Mike Todd. I believe he is the pastor of a Transformation Church. I believe that's the name of the church. He went viral over the MLK holiday 3-day weekend because literally, not figuratively, literally, in every sense of the word, literally, brought a man on stage for a demonstration of his scripture that he was preaching and spit in his hand, took the saliva, the DNA out of his mouth and spit it into his hand and wiped it on a church member's face. Didn't dot it, literally rubbed it in his face as if it was lotion, as if it was men's skin health care, as if it was beard balm. Sorry for the visual. Oh, I'm giving you the visual for those riding who may have not saw it and don't want to see it, but just trying to paint a vivid, unfortunately, alarming picture for those listening. So, Mike Todd. Now, what scripture he had going on? I believe people were saying he was in his demonstration of his sermon of doing the spitting in his hand and rubbing it on this man's face. He was referencing the scripture talking about God, Jesus spitting in his hand and healing this blind man's eyes. If you go to scripture, I know there's two scriptures, John 9:6, it talks about that, as well as Mark 8:23, if you want to go back and look at those scriptures. And also the premise of his, I guess I'm assuming the theme. I didn't listen to the whole sermon, just saw the hot take or saw that clip of him spitting this man, rubbing his spit in this man's face. The theme of that moment, or maybe the overall message, was receiving vision from God may get nasty. Receiving vision from God might get nasty. And so when I first saw that, I was just like, so did you proclaim the feel in your spirit that God told you to do this, and you was trying to say, well, God, that's pretty nasty, and you trying to say, well, do it anyhow? I don't know, but whoever wants to take that first, yeah, feel free. Well, I'll direct it to Sedacious first. I know before the podcast, I don't want to misquote you. You cleaned it up yourself. Like you were saying, you kind of rock with it.
I do halfway, simply because we live in a censored world, and you know everybody's sensitive to everything. So of course you're gonna get it. They're gonna blow it out of proportion. Me personally, you know, I feel like, you know, if it didn't come and meet you, if this wasn't the message for you, then hey, just move on. But you know, we all try to take on the role of God and we pass judgment. It's just human nature. It's what we do. But I mean, I got it. I understood. Now, the only reason why I would condemn it is because we are living in COVID times, and it's like pretty unsanitary. But as far as like trying to drive a message through, trying to get the body of Christ to understand how things can get and how things will be, you know, I felt like, it was a good effort at, you know, trying to convey a message or try to drive something home for a body of Christ. But like I said, granted, it is nasty and it's unsanitary, but you know, like he said, man, sometimes it get nasty, sometimes it get gritty. You know what I mean? There's gonna be one person that understood what he was trying to say, even though the rest of the world feels like he's a nasty. I'm sorry, Edward. Sorry, you know, we're trying not to curse, but that's what's important to me, is that one person got the lesson and the message from whatever it is that he was doing, even though he had to go viral and he had to issue an apology. So, you know, I'm one of those people who, you know what I'm saying, I'm not soft, bro. Like, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? How do we know that man didn't get paid for doing that? He wasn't like, hey, I need to use you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna break you off. But, you know, because I don't think that it was a random dude. He was like, hey, you, come here. I want to show everybody something. I don't think that happened at all.
I'm gonna just jump in right there. So my stepfather, as you all well know, you know, holds that same occupation as a pastor, but has yet to spit in his hand and rub it in someone's face. But
so it may not be related, but that being my pastor too, Isaac, I do vividly remember. Obviously, it's nowhere near on the scale, and I was young, so I don't remember the scripture that was around it, but I know it was definitely about being humble and being the shepherd of leading us in his church when he had washed everybody's feet.
Oh man, now that was spiritual.
Right.
That was
yeah.
Like even seeing him cry, you know, while doing it, that was impactful. I don't even know how you leave somebody after that in regards to just their shepherdhood and their, you know, them being able to just watch over your soul in that pastoral capacity. But I just recently began to follow Mike Todd. Though his heart, I feel as though it was in the right place. As humans, we fall short. Probably the wrong type of demonstration to do so. There is no reason on God's green earth on why Mike Todd could not have gotten a water bottle or a cup of water and poured a little bit in his hand. And he could have been, this is symbolic of God's spit in that scripture. If he wanted to really get down to the nitty gritty of that, he could have came at it on a symbolic way, but I don't know. A part of me saying maybe, you know, how the old adage, you know, within the marketing saying, you know, there's no such thing as bad publicity, but when you represent God and we're trying to get a message out there, you know, quite literally there could be a such thing as bad publicity, and that could be another thing. See, they won't go to church right there. They doing shit like that, bro. Like, you ain't finna spit on me, bro. I swear to God. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you kind of get feedback and different, you know, things like that being said, but heart in the right place, yes. But even when we take the Lord's Supper as a proud Christian, right, we're not really drinking blood and eating of God's actual physical body. That would be cannibalism. That would be disgusting. It's a representation. It's a symbolic notion of, hey, this is, you know, this is reverence of, you know, us remembering what you did for us, you know, back on Calvary. So I think in the spirit of that, Mike Todd could have definitely, you know, used water or something else. He could have lotion, even though that probably would have went viral too. But it's like, dude, you could have did anything but spit, especially in the time with COVID, bro, because you coughing up a loogie would suggest to me you have mucus in your body, and mucus is a telltale fact that there is some type of disease, whether that be allergies, ailment, COVID, whatever. Like, dude, nah, bro.
I don't know if you go, Darnell, but before we continue it,
well, I want to
hold on. I'm gonna just play as a
slide on in there
for everybody who may not have heard it yet. For the listeners, I'm gonna play as a apology.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing Monday. I just want to acknowledge what happened yesterday when the spit hit the fan. I watched it back, and it was disgusting. Like, that was gross. I want to validate everybody's feelings. That was a distraction to what I was really trying to do. I was really trying to make the word come alive and for people to see the story. But yesterday it got too live, and I own that. And I just want to make sure people know that we want to help people. We want people to see Jesus. We want people to feel loved. We want people who are desperate to be able to find hope. And I'm passionate about that, so much so that I try to do extreme things to help people get it. And yesterday it crossed the line. So I love you guys. I appreciate everybody that's been praying for us and sending us messages. And to anybody who just saw that 3-minute clip, I really encourage you to go back and watch the whole message. There's some truth and some life in there that could potentially change your whole life. When Jesus spit on that man, he was blind and then he could see. For my brother, who I love and honor so much, I just called him. He was bald before I spit on him, and he's still bald today. So no miracle here. And so next time I'll rethink and do something differently. I love everybody. I'm praying for everybody. And Transformation Nation, thank you for riding. We're going to represent God to the lost and found for transformation in Christ. All right, everybody, have an amazing week. Peace.
Man. Well, I wanted to say that's pretty much what I felt the direction he was going with it. And we live in 2022 now, and things get dramatic. For Christ's sakes, people are getting murdered on video, and a lot of dramatic things are happening on kind of, just quote unquote viral things that are happening. Now, am I saying he's trying to compete with being viral? Not necessarily, but he's trying to compete with the attention of the attention level that people are catered to at the end of the day. So I felt like, I do feel like it was a bit over the line, but I do understand exactly where it's coming from. He was making it dramatic enough to where you could put your phone down. He's making it dramatic enough. He's making it dramatic enough where you can stop thinking about what you was thinking about before. Was it, like I said, was it cross that line? Absolutely. But I understand where he's coming from.
In his apology video that's on Twitter, somebody put in the comments for his apology video, he spitting facts.
Oh yeah, Twitter undefeated, man. You ain't for to defeat nobody on there.
Absolutely.
But now,
you know what I love about it? I love that he really didn't apologize at all. I like that he just was like, your feelings are valid. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. But
I feel like you gotta own it to pick out what you're saying, Javier. Definitely gotta own it. It's a certain level of accountability that he displayed that was genuine. Right intent, wrong way of going about it. So
I feel like it was intentional though.
I ain't gonna lie, man. But that is true as well. But man, shout out to Mike Todd, man. I've just in my personal walk, and me just seeking God, I found God speaking to me through Mike Todd, through various videos that may have popped up on my timeline, whether they were reposts from some type of Christian-esque page on Instagram or whatever the case may be. So he definitely has a powerful word in him. So I would charge anybody, if you try Christianity for the first time, don't write us off. thinking that we spit on people, and that's like the going notion. No, just desperate times, I believe, calls for desperate measures. But everything, even in the Bible, then this is scripture, right? All things in decency and in order. And I think God would agree that that may have been a little bit out of order, but hey, we all make mistakes. So I'm not here to condemn them and tear them down. So.
And like, to piggyback off Isaac, if you are new in your walk and you're trying to come to Christ and you're trying to find a spiritual leader, whatever be the case, in doing that, understand that every pastor, every minister, whatever you would like to call them, isn't for everybody. Whereas I've seen some of Mike Todd stuff. I've probably watched maybe 2 or 3 of his sermons before in the past, and I'll see clips on social media and his way of going about his sermons when it's theatrical and he's running on treadmills and he's lifting weights. To me personally, it comes off as it's kind of gimmicky for me. But Shineheart Izzo saying, "Yo, God speaks to me through him," just lets you know, certain messages or certain passages are not for everybody. So if you are turned off by Mike Todd, every pastor and minister isn't a Mike Todd. You can go find another pastor or minister that speaks directly and specifically to you.
Right? Yeah, they may be more traditional. One may be more, yeah.
And also too, right? Even within the underlying theme, vision from God might get messy. That's true. You can separate the message from the messenger. That's possible as well. So yeah.
He's still human, people. He is not without fault.
True indeed.
Do not spit on people.
Unless they want it.
Quicker, but to get this book, Lord, you're gonna have to edit that
Unless
one
they
out.
want it.
I'm sorry, but
I will say this. This scripture was intriguing in terms of what came up. Just throwing it out there. It may not. Just throwing it out there. So think about the scriptures of Mark 13:22, and I'm just reading the scripture, but guys like him who already have mega churches, they're already given just a bad rep for being, oh, that's some cult type stuff and da 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 and so on and so forth. And like I say, for me, his form comes off as gimmicky, and I kind of just be like, but
gimmicky. I respect your opinion, but I feel as though it's almost like what Darnell was saying, in today's day and age, bro, people have the attention span short as a rodent, bro. People, literally, you grab people's attention and it is not kept for 15 seconds max. So it's more of a thing to hey, let me do something that's captivating to the eye, that is a bit different to kind of grab you in, and then hopefully the message of God can kind of keep you there in regards to my whole purpose and intent of speaking or, whatever demonstration is going on.
I understand that.
It worked with us.
Right.
They didn't like the spit. It worked with us. We got the message, but not everybody will get the message. Dude,
I think pastors themselves can be
people
gimmicky.
ain't okay, Edward. We get it. I saw your face.
No, I just didn't want to keep beating a dead drum. I think who is offended and feels some type of way about Mike Todd, I think it also has a lot to do with where you are individually in your spiritual walk with God. But yeah. So basketball. Brooklyn Nets have developed the Metaverse, as they like to call it. Some of those people may be familiar with the Metaverse and that going on in Facebook and Nike and so on and so forth. So the Brooklyn Nets are the first team to develop a Metaverse within their arena for basketball games, have 100 some plus wide cameras all around the court, which feeds which feeds all this electronic type stuff into a 3D monitoring system at whatever studio, and then that gets feeded into like a metaverse. So, and you could find, I don't know if they're developing or if you can currently actually go into that metaverse space, but they're doing that, and you can get live game action inside of this metaverse for whatever game is currently going on. And talking about it now in my mind, I'm like, wow, that'll be hella dope. Like you go to the finals or whatever. So like all it's I want to say it's not simulated because it's the actual like live game
Live
feed.
game.
But yeah, the Nets are the first to do that. It's been going. I won't say it's been going on, but the NBA had been promoting this Oculus virtual reality headset. I don't know if y'all like caught those commercials for a while. I want to say they kind of was pumping it heavy during the playoffs. And I believe it was called Oculus, and you could be courtside, put this headset.
Is it Samsung? Because I believe Samsung is a part of
Samsung or Google.
I think Meta or I think Facebook made it or Google.
I want to say Google, but I'm not. Don't quote me on it. I wouldn't bet my life on it. But yeah, so the Nets are doing this, and sounds pretty dope from like where the world is headed with Metaverse and so on and so forth. Y'all thoughts on that?
I think it's gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come to a point in time where it's just like, damn, Edward, I forgot I gotta work. Do you want courtside? My tickets courtside Metaverse? Yeah, you can have them. And then, you know, I give you the code, and then all of a sudden you're right there courtside, or you're on the court watching James Harden cross somebody over and shoot a three.
Right now, from what I saw with the Nets that they have right now, the 3D graphic and the feed going back from what the cameras are showing them at the live game, right now the graphics look like 2K12, 2K13.
I ain't gonna lie.
Just like as they keep perfecting it.
But yeah, but you right there in the game though.
Look at it live in KD right now. That'll be.
You
I
right
think
there
it's
in
a
the game.
different. I think visually it's a different feel from us seeing a like almost third person from our phones as opposed to literally being in it and then it, you know.
Right.
But my thoughts on it, I'm gonna go a little deeper than my boy X-Man did. My fault, I'm having fun with Sedacious' name tonight. I don't know why. But I would prime people to go watch The Matrix again, because though The Matrix came out around 2000, 2001, I believe, it's really a documentary for life as we're about to know it. 2020 was one of those years where it was an important and pivotal year, not only in American history, but I believe just world history, because I believe that was the first chapter and the first official unveiling of the digital world that we're about to kind of cross over into threshold-wise or threshold speaking. And I say it from this premise, and I'm gonna try to be quick. If you go back and watch The Matrix, how Neo and Trinity got plugged in, and every time they got literally plugged in into this digital world, right? You know, their clothes were nicer, more pristine, more, you know, cut. They were able to download fighting programs. Hey, I need to know Kung Fu. Man, the dude that was back in the real world downloaded a whole Kung Fu file for Neo, and Neo instantly became like this master, you know, at like 2,200 different martial arts styles. And though a bit hyperbole going on as far as exaggerations, but essentially that's kind of what's going on, right? Like if you look at their clothes from the outer space, like if you kind of look at 2020, right? People work from home, you know, majority of the time, right? And now comfort wear is becoming a huge part of everyone's day-to-day life. Not saying people don't care about, you know, what they wear as much, but I think we're starting to turn the corner and swing the pendulum of, hey, I think people more so are concerned with how they look online, with actually how they look in real life. And you would kind of, you know, like really come to a sensus on that just due to the fact that look how many people walk down the street or just be in any social event and count how many people got their phone in their hand, right? And how glued they are to it. And I just think with all that accompanied in, man, we literally ushering and stepping into that space. The first person in one of these alternate or virtual realities just bought some virtual real estate. One of the first purchases of virtual real estate in world history, right? And I believe it went for like $500,000 or close to $1 million. And it was a estate virtually next to Snoop Dogg in some type of metaverse there. But anyway, yeah, man, the future is now type shit. Future definitely is being televised, and people need to wake up. You know, it's definitely in your face, man.
In addition to going back to watch The Matrix, like Sean Hart Izzo was saying, I would also charge people to go watch Ready Player One. If y'all haven't seen that, that's a good movie.
Ready Player One go hard.
What's going on with the metaverse, simulation of the metaverse. And that came out maybe 2019 before like the pandemic, and you look at where we at now. So Ready Player One is another good movie.
Ready Player One to actually get you excited for a metaverse, bro.
And bro, honestly, I think like, cause I actually haven't heard of that movie. Y'all gonna have to put me on. We can talk about that off camera. But I'm gonna definitely go watch it. But honestly, bro, I think it's gonna come to a point, because reality as we know it, right? It's just a well-known and accepted theory of, hey, this is reality. But what if we got to the point, right, in the world to where when we woke up in the morning, the first thing people do is they put on a reality goggles, or they're stepping into reality. And who's to say the physical world turns into how we view the digital world now, right? As an escape. What if people want to escape reality by, let me take off my goggles and, you know, go be in the physical world? But nobody cares about the physical world anymore, but everyone has already transitioned into the metaverse. I think
you need to go watch Ready Player One, bro.
Everybody
watch Ready Player One. And minus what you were just saying, Isaac, with the metaverse and the goggles, like that's already been people's MO psychologically when you get off work and you just want to go play 2K or Madden or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me try to buy a skin. I'm gonna go play 2K court. I really never been a hooper in my life, but I know how to work these sticks. Yeah. It's gonna be the hands. And you got people building hand sensors to go into the metaverse and be able to
so you can actually feel. And then you got your boy Elon Musk creating Neuralink, an actual chip in your brain.
That's a little too far.
Oh man, hey, I want our audience to look up transhumanism. I don't want us to get cut down on our podcast before we get started, so I ain't gonna say too much. But man, hey, that is real, people. It's around the corner.
They're trying to clone you.
They're trying to integrate humans with technology into a full force unison, or union rather, to where you know it's gonna be inseparable. It's gonna be to the point where you can't have one without the other. Hey.
Darnell gonna be able to live for 5,000 years because his brain is uploaded into the database, and they get you in that mainframe. It's over with.
Yeah, man. So Kanye was Pete Davidson, The Game. I don't know, for people who may or may not have seen Kanye West going viral saying, hey, today my daughter's birthday. They won't give me the address so I can spend the day with my daughter's birthday. Then he just recently dropped a song called Easy with The Game. He was featuring on The Game song called Easy, making a diss at Pete Davidson where he said, God saved me from God saved me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass. So and for those who don't know Pete Davidson, yes, he is dating Kim Kardashian, but Pete Davidson is also a very funny comedian. Is on Saturday Night Live. Is on TV shows and movies and so on and so forth.
He's more famous for dating Ariana Grande and now, as of recently, Kim Kardashian.
True indeed.
And he being an advocate for suicide prevention and things of that nature as well.
Right. So yeah. Are y'all familiar with the Kanye? No, are y'all familiar with the Game song where he was like rapping about? Okay, all right. So I'm just,
You
I,
all over the place.
I'm over. I'm over like Kanye, bro. I think for a
Okay,
while,
okay.
I try to put myself. I'm like, you know what? I don't make enough money as Kanye to like understand like what mental problems or what his world looks like for me to even judge.
Nigga ain't got no mental problems, bro.
I don't think it's that serious. I think it's that simple as, you know what? This is how it transitions from a 8-year marriage to a divorce with 4 kids. This is what happens. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have money. He's even said it straight up like that. I'm a billionaire. What do you expect me to do? I have the ability to be able to buy a house across the street from my wife. You know what I'm saying? I can do whatever I want with it because I'm a billionaire. So he did that. He wanted to be closer to his family. You know what I'm saying? Ex-wife, of course. And at the end of the day, I feel like
that's some creepy stalker shit, though.
You know, no. People gonna look at it from that standpoint because it hasn't been done and they don't have the abilities to do it.
That's
like
true.
It's not at that point. He's transitioning from a bad breakup from his point of view and being away from his kids to, all right, now I gotta move on. Now I gotta do this. And guess what he did to help him move forward? He got with a person that publicly has said that he has slept with his wife. You know, hopefully before they got together. And he said, you know what? I'm over it. I'm moving forward. I've got a new girlfriend. I'm doing songs with people that have hit my ex-wife. You know what? People gotta look at it from the brighter side. Even the verses that he dropped in there, he's gonna have the best divorce ever. It's like, bro, he's looking at it from the bright side. It's not as bad as people are making it out to be. He's actually moving forward. This is steps that
moving
like, you know what, I'm bending out.
Is
I don't like the new
fact
dude.
that your ex-wife is dating somebody else. Moving, actually being stuck in the past and saying, nigga, I'm gonna buy a house right across the street from me. Man, ain't no breaking up with me. You talking about it. Come on, bro. Kids.
No, that's for the kids. Come on, dog.
Ain't no kids, bro. You can still live in the same city and still see your kids all the time.
In the black community,
street from that's
in the
weird.
Black community. It's a stigmatism for the Black community. You know this.
Bro, okay, think about this. So my mom and dad were not married when they had me, right? So that's like saying my dad fucked up, can't get over it, right? Then my mom got married to somebody else, and he like, you know what, man? Hey, man, I'm finna move back to Houston, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy a house right across the street from them niggas so I can come raise my son, so I can be close to my son. That's overkill. That's overdoing it.
But it's for the stigmatism of like, he didn't have his father there. Yeah, facts. But at the end of the day, he didn't have his father there, and he felt like, man, what if my father was just there? How would I have turned down, and how would that have affected me in my future? So it's like, it's not about the fact that like, Kim this, Kim that. It's like, nah, man. In the Black community, when they do decide to get a divorce or break up, the man all the way separates. Whole different side of the town. You know what I'm saying? And it's not out of like they don't want to be close. It's just out of like, dude, this is the way it gotta be. But due to the fact that Kanye is a billionaire and he has the ability to do it, he said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. What's stopping me? Money's not stopping me. Like nothing. Like people aren't gonna stop me. Like tabloids gonna say what they're gonna say. I'm gonna do what I want. They already think I'm crazy. It's like he said in that interview. Like y'all thought I was crazy before. I'm a billionaire now. This is the step that he's doing to tell you, like, I'm gonna do things that you can't do, that you're gonna question and call crazy.
Shout out to Kanye. He was just in Houston a couple weeks ago too, man. He was, with a lovely
hanging out with Sauce Walk and all of
them. I think Kanye has a lot of. I think Kanye is very colorful with his wording. I think he dresses up his BS ever so eloquently. The whole buying a house next door to Kim and Darnell, being a Kanye stan, but also being a father and being able to imagine what they would be like to not be able to, you know,
Last
see
of a dying breed. Yeah, with you and me, baby.
the last, man. Hoorah to the creed. But nah,
You next though.
Hey, Isaac was throwing me off, but no, yo, so you just said, and y'all let me walk through it. Don't interrupt me. You just said this is him embracing and going through a divorce, getting on songs with dudes who talked about having sex with his wife.
Yeah, I gotta side with E on this one because that's insane.
And then,
but that's also the same dude who referenced Kanye losing his mom in a very respectful way, and you know, gave an olive branch to Wayne saying we can share mothers now, something remnant of that line with the
I don't know what that boy was paying homage to his mother.
Bro, how many rappers don't talk about Kim K, bro? Come on.
Okay.
He can't do songs with nobody.
I understand that, Isaac. I understand it, but I think I'd like to believe, and maybe it's no holds barred in rap because that's just what it is. I mean, we know what Biggie said, Pac said about faith. But I like to believe there's a universal code to a degree that, like, the wifey is off limits. And so I seen this song, I seen it being posted on YouTube for the most part 2 years ago. So if they've been married for 8 years and this song came out 2 years ago and they 6 years into their marriage, like, I don't know if the marriage was blissful or not back then, but like a dude come out of the blue with a song, viewers, I'll beat this out. I held Kim Kardashian by her throat. I made her swallow my kids until she choked. I should apologize because they my folks. I'm just to go double back and do a track with the same dude because I'm going celebrating and I'm like embracing my divorce. Like that, come on, bro. And at the same time too,
the bar was actually not even an apology. It was a game style apology, actually.
Hurt people.
Sadly enough,
hurt people.
It was a game style apology.
Kanye is hurting outwardly to the public right now.
It wasn't a good one.
And he chose a horrible person to get on the song with. The game is not relevant at all. But hey, Kanye West feel like if he hop on anybody's song, he's relevant. So
I think Kanye be full of it. 90%. I'll give him 85%. I think Kanye be full of it 85% of the time. And he pulls the wool over people's eyes with a gospel album and he's struggling mentally. That's what I think. And you get a house across the street from your wife and you claim that y'all in your song that y'all going through a blissful divorce. But for whatever random reason, you don't have access or address to her birthday party. Some minutia is like kind of out of whack there for me. I get it, custody. I don't know if it's a custody battle. I don't know if Kim got her time, then Gay's supposed to have his time, and that day wasn't his time to be with the. I don't know, but Ye be full of it, bro, and he gets the sympathy call. And at this point in time, it wasn't religion or an album. He used his daughter for attention, And he's like, bro, what is his daughter? Bro, I'm pretty sure like he knew who was gonna be there. Like you can't like tell me. It's possible. I'm not ruling it out. But
what if they went to answer this phone? Was it the same? He said try to put him in a crazy house.
Say what?
Them same people at this birthday party that he stressed that You know, these people try to put him in a crazy house, bro. Tried to literally have this man in a psych ward, you know, trying to strip him and take him away from his kids. And do you remember when Kanye went on that rant on Twitter like a year or two ago, and he was talking about, nah, I'm gonna be in my daughter's life. North ain't gonna grow up like and be no fucking Instagram model and all this other shit. And he started saying a whole bunch of, hey, man, look, I'm just telling you what the man said. But I felt the spirit of what he was saying. Like, he wanted to be an active father in all of his kids' life, to steer them and have that fatherly influence, because that makes a huge difference, man. Having a father figure in the household, and like you growing up.
1,010%, which I highly co-sign.
Yeah, man, because single parent household until I was like 19 years old. Shout out to my stepdad, freaking legend, man. Love that dude. But yeah, man, it's that's real, bro. It's you can, as a kid just growing up and be experiencing it, bro. It's a world of difference between having one parent in the household and then you having like a father figure in the house with you. It's like it's a different kind of dynamic.
With that being said, Pete Davidson, father figure, come on. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't want that nigga around my fucking
Pete
kid.
Davidson just trying to be in your kid's life. I'm just trying to hit your ex-wife.
He might be trying to be in their life too, though.
Hey, he was at the party. I'm a squabble, bro.
It ain't the best image, is what I'm saying.
I'll be like, hey, bro, I can come
Off
talk
rip
to your
from
dude.
a father that cares, that ain't the best image. That's
Kanye just mad, bro. He just mad. Kanye just got money for us to highlight his ain't. We all do the same thing when we mad, bro. It's just Kanye's a billionaire, so he can be petty like, oh, I'm gonna get the house right across the street. I ain't going nowhere. So you gonna have to, hey, you and Pete gonna have to, you know what I mean? And guess what? I'm gonna find a house over there too. I can stay being petty because I got money too. What you want to do? And this breakup is not gonna be. You finna break up with Kanye? Like, don't let me find out because I put it in a song.
I think Ye's ego is more hurt than anything in regards to. Yeah, man.
He'll go on
Pete Davidson, I don't
with
know
a dude that she used to.
I don't know if this is recently, but Pete Davidson, I seen on the gram, he had on a hat that said "Make Kanye West 2006 again." So I don't know if that was recently. If it was, beautiful shot by Pete Davidson. But yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. And Kanye, he really, because Kanye has a cult-like following, like how Charlamagne said some shit about Lil' Kim, and he was on the street, and a random he never seen was like, "Hey, you talking about Lil' Kim?" That type of following, and he wrong for that, and he know that this and Pete Davidson is gonna be like, oh, Pete Davidson, you know what I'm saying? Remember Kanye? Yeah. So Pete Davidson, like,
we been
that type of following,
bro. You talking about? I'm on it. Yeah.
Right. You see those niggas in the studio?
Bro, what does Pete Davidson do, bro? What is he famous for? Nothing.
He's a comedian.
I follow Pete Davidson, so I can't say nothing.
He's a comedian.
You pretty. You got.
I got words for you after this podcast.
He's a rock star comedian.
You ain't a nobody if you on Saturday Night Live. Like,
brother.
Right. What real is, you know,
what I'm saying
Saturday
is,
Night Live.
People don't.
He being 100 though. He being 100.
People don't really take off from Saturday. Like, you gotta start other places in order to get on Saturday Night Live. You see what I'm saying? Like, I did not know Pete Davidson existed prior to Saturday Night Live. And honestly, this may be insensitive, but I did not know him as well in regards. He didn't get a lot of media notoriety until he had the suicide day, them breaking up. So Kim Kardashian is dealing with a couple that's just volatile over women, quite honestly.
He also, too, he lost his pops in a 9/11. I believe his dad was like a firefighter or something.
Damn.
So, like, you know, I mean, and he has stand-up specials talking about that and so on and so forth. But,
yeah, bro, Kanye, like that's, see, when you got money, you can go against codes that we as Black people go with. Cause like, I don't care, real niggas don't go at you go at your chick. You say something to your chick. You don't never say nothing to
the player.
You don't never say nothing to you don't say nothing about him.
Yeah, because like what you beating up,
never let his brand come out your mouth, fam.
Kim's still gonna give him ice for his wound if he black his eye and give him.
And you know what everybody did like, when you did that song? Like, the Davidson.
So football going to give the floor to Sedacious for all of our Cowboy supporters and listeners of the podcast. Y'all took a hard blow, man. You lose 23-17 against the 49ers. I won't unpack it. All I will say is Dak had a QBR of 27. And Sedacious, the funny thing, so Sedacious, who Sedacious believes in is the Cowboys. They lost in the first round of a wild card weekend. Who Sedacious doesn't believe in is Josh Allen. Right on cue. I
know what's coming.
But we'll start. Don't interrupt Sedacious. Sedacious, the floor is yours. Start with the Cowboys.
I want to go on record saying that I said this and kind of like in the middle of the season. And Dak Prescott is just a scared little explicit words here, bro. It's just, I'm sorry. It's just, that ankle, bro. I guess something about seeing your ankle go the opposite way that make you not the same QB. You know what I mean? Like, I seen it happen with Tony Romo. It's just like after that first back injury, he never really was, neck injury. He wasn't the same after that. And it didn't matter what hurt him. So I blame it on Dak. I ain't gonna lie. That's it, man. Just didn't step up. We paid him his money, and also the defense couldn't stop the run.
Yeah, I'm about to say
that's a recipe for disaster if your defense can't stop it and your offense can't score. And I'm surprised that we lost by as little as we did with how well we stunk.
My question to you about Dak is they start even Dak, right? Started off very hot in the beginning of the season. And he was like, damn, that boy gonna come back and try to take the MVP. And so obviously the season is 17 games long. It's not just 6 games, 6-game stretch. Considering what everybody saw in the beginning of the season with Dak and what everybody was saying, at that point in time, there was no injury or ankle talk. It was just like, oh, fam, like supremely healthy and he ready to go and he's like firing on all cylinders. So for you as a Cowboys fan, having that hot start, when does it go from, oh, he's healthy and he's up to par to, well, maybe it's the ankle now all of a sudden? Because mind you, he still threw for over 45 or at least 4,000 yards. And you got Omari and you got CD both with 1,000 yards. So, I mean, are you just trying to give him some cushion to find something to lean on and be like, maybe it's the ankle or like what?
No, Dak Prescott for me has always been a double threat. You would say I always felt like he threw it good enough and he was a mobile quarterback. Dak Prescott was in no way mobile this whole season. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that, him being able to win physical games, when teams that are physical and like they're stopping the run, like now we got to do something else. You know what I mean? And Dak, you are not Tom Brady where you can sit back there untouched and then just pick the defense off. You know what I'm saying? Your O-line, they ain't, you know, they're going to break down on you. You only got so long to make a decision. And then you take too long before you break away or decide that you want to try to extend the play, and then we get a sack. You know what I'm saying? We go from 3rd and 5 to like 4th and 15 because you think you Tom Brady, when really a part of your game, the part of the reason why you were a threat the way you were was not because of just your arm. It was because you could extend plays or you could pick up first down with your legs. And it was like that decision to be a mobile quarterback, it was like he decided, no, I'm not going to do that. If we can't win with scheme and me figuring out defenses and figuring out the holes and the run game, then we're not going to win with me being mobile. And that's why I feel like that he ain't the same.
To
He ain't the
piggyback,
same because it actually takes away from his game.
I was gonna say to kind of piggyback off that a little bit. I would give that a little bit of grace due to the fact that Joe Burrow just got off a catastrophic knee injury as well, and Joe Burrow, as we all can, I think, universally agree on, he was definitely mobile coming out of college, right? Joe Burrow definitely used his legs in order to get out of a lot of trouble, more athletic than, the average quarterback, most definitely. And then him being white, this is Joe Burrow I'm talking about. But when he suffered the knee injury, if you look at Joe Burrow's rushing yards this year, they're significantly down, not because he doesn't have the confidence, but it kind of takes more than a year for you to kind of get back and be your normal self, right? So I would say if Dak Prescott isn't moving around, this time next year, as he did a couple years, before, then yeah, I think you would have some validity to your conversation. But I think it's a credit to what you're saying on why the Cowboys lost. Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell had their way, along with that O-line. I think that O-line was able to dominate the point of attack and dominate the line of scrimmage with the run game. And I think from there, the 49ers had that team, right, to where if they get up on you, it's a recipe for disaster because at that point, they're going to play keep away, right? Because they can run the ball so good, they're going to play the time of possession game with you, and which I believe, if I look at the numbers from Sunday, they definitely dominated time of possession against the Cowboys. The Cowboys were really trying to struggle to find a rhythm all night due to the fact they got down early too quick.
So, Dacius, are you giving Dak more time, or you tried and true to that's being your quarterback, or have you decided to disown the Cowboys? Like, where are you at in terms of your?
Oh no, never that, man. I'm dying with the boys. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's a for life thing. It's sad to say I'm used to this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get over it pretty quickly. Not as quickly as normal games because this was the playoffs and we did have somewhat of a shot. But yeah, I'm still around with them. As it comes to Dak, bro, either you're gonna get your film study up and you're gonna get to the Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers type, or you need to find a way to be able to work your legs back into your game, man, because nobody's scared of you just throwing the ball. I'm sorry, Dak. I love you, but I'm here to tell you, bro, like, if I'm playing defense, I'm not scared of you just sitting back there trying to attack me. You have to make me feel like I have to cheat up forward for you to get that reactive play off me. And that's it. Other than that, I can stop Zeke. I can stop Pollard, and that's it. You're not just gonna just laser us off the field.
Pollard may need to be RB1 next year, but that's another conversation for another day.
How do y'all? It's a lot I want to unpack, but I want to get to a lot with the Bills and the Cardinals. But ball on the 41, 14 seconds left. Ball near midfield on the 41. Quarterback draw. What are your thoughts on that, Sedacious, and how that unfolded?
I thought it was horrible. I thought it was just, I don't know, just a brave fart or something. I don't know how you don't know that you're not going to be able to get tackled, get up, and have the referee spot the ball to run a play. It's just how you don't know that. But it is what it is, bro. The Cowboys always want to decide to fight when it's too late. And, hey,
Could it not be? Well, I'm sorry. I know you was trying to chime in on there.
Just real quick,
No, I
I
was
think
just
the
saying,
coach
we
press
just
triangle.
continue.
You got it, bro.
I think the coach press triangle. That's all I was gonna say.
Oh, the coach.
I think the coach press triangle. Like I meant to press square. I pressed triangle. Wrong play.
Nah, real trying to run that hurry up on that man and around.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah,
Exactly.
but Dak is smarter than that. But I mean, come on, Mike McCarthy, notoriously known for not being able to manage a game, and you marry that with, hey, you know, this is the Cowboys culture. You marry that with, you know, Dak coming off the gruesome ankle injury, and sprinkle a little bit of Cowboy in there, and there you go.
Yeah, a little bit of angel dust, a little bit of cowboy
Yeah,
dust.
man.
Blue
And
magic.
boys get booted right up out of there, man. But don't worry, Aaron Rodgers will have his revenge for you Cowboy fanboys out there. So
Yeah, we'll wait till they should come back before we get on Joshy Josh. Bro, what happened with the cards is
in my defense, bro, I actually
I know
wanted
you-
to say
oh
I did say I wanted to pick the Rams to win. I had in my heart because I did say if DeAndre Hopkins,
you said that those exact words. You're right. You're right.
I said if DeAndre did not play, I said it's gonna be a long day for the Cardinals, and I do see them losing if DeAndre doesn't play. And the reason I said that is because one, I know for a fact Jalen Ramsey was gonna travel with DeAndre wherever he went, right? So he's gonna take that best cover guy that the Rams have back there, as opposed to him being on arguably the best receiver in the league. You got him on Christian Kirk. AJ Green got hurt for a little while. Come on, bro. That's clamps. That's like straight jacket, bro. That's a recipe for fucking disaster. Like for the Cardinals standpoint, because you think about it, aside from, AJ Green had his, 8-year run being the number one receiver in Cincinnati, but outside of that, man, Cardinals don't have a definitive number one. So Jalen Ramsey is literally having a field day. He don't have to travel with nobody. And you marry that with Von Miller on the edge and Aaron Donald just being a bully, quite literally on the field. Come on, man. Cardinals couldn't do a damn thing, bro.
Yeah, no, you for sure said you for sure said you had the Rams.
I do.
Definitely, if Hop wasn't playing, I would definitely remember you saying that.
But I had to ride it out with him because I did pick the Cardinals to go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So, but I had to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Nah,
tough day for my Cardinals, man.
They should running from this Josh Allen talk. But so coming up in the divisional round, I can get y'all picks. If you want to wait on it, that's fine. But Bengals, Titans. That may possibly be a shootout.
That's gonna be a great game. I don't think it's gonna be a shootout, bro, because you got to think about it. Derrick Henry is back,
but we don't know how he's gonna look exactly.
True, but if he look anything like these niggas used to look,
if he look like
they gonna be playing keep away, bro.
Yeah, if he look like him, dog,
bro. But the thing about it is, we go out. Julio Jones is healthy. He's playing, so we go out and get Julio Jones in the offseason. If we got to have a shootout now, we kind of got the horses to do so, theoretically speaking, with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. You essentially have two number one receivers on your football team, which is a great luxury to have. But, man, that's going to be a great game. I'm going to get a slight edge. I'm going to get a slight edge to the Bengals because there's something to be said about being hot going into the playoffs. And I just think the Bengals offensively have just been in a rare rhythm. And I don't give a damn who he been on. You look up the numbers, Pro Football Focus. Jamar Chase has been arguably the best receiver against single coverage all year. If he's single covered, Jamar Chase is winning 95% of the time.
No, I solely picked the Bengals, like you said. I was just like, they too hot not to beat the Raiders. I don't care what the Raiders would have been. I'm like, even if they was going against, well, I don't know if they could have been going against the Bucs. Even if they was going against like a top team, I remember like, it's kind of hot to burn anybody right now.
And you know what's gonna be a good game? The Bengals and the Chiefs for the AFC Championship. But I'm gonna go take the Chiefs, bro, because I tell people this every year I've seen it, bro. I've yet to see anything like Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, bro. I don't know what it is. Every time this man get in the playoffs, he throwing for 7 touchdowns and 500 yards. And wild card weekend was no different. Like, did we expect anything different from Patrick Mahomes? I knew they was gonna beat the out of the Steelers, but I didn't know that they was gonna embarrass them and it not be a game by the third. Like, literally, it wasn't even a game by really end of the second quarter, beginning of the third. Shit was really over.
They scored 5 touchdowns in a time of 11 minutes.
Yes, bro, back to back. Like, just think about an offense that keep going out there and they scoring every drive they go down. Every single time.
Not getting no risk.
That's breaking the controller level.
That's breaking that's breaking the will and the spirit of your defense, because it's like, bro, we can't stop these.
They're slowing down.
And they know we can't stop them.
It's possibly Big Ben's last game.
And then Tyreek Hill channeling his inner TO, grabbing the pom-poms on the sideline, which is
Darnell, who you got, Bengals or Titans?
Bengals or Titans? I don't like Tannehill. Bengals. Just straight like that. Like, he don't like how Mason don't like Josh Allen. I don't like Tannehill. So
you got the Bills or you got Kansas City, Darnell?
I got who?
The Bills or Kansas City?
Hot versus hotter. I'm going Kansas City.
KC. You got the Niners or you got Mr. Soap. Who you say is going to soak this season? You got the Niners or you got A-Rod and the Pats?
I'll take the stash. Fuck it. I'll take the stash.
Who you said?
I'm going to take the stash.
Okay, A-Rod.
Yeah, we're going with him. Yeah, that one game was a fluke. That was
Who you got, Izzo?
Hey, man, run it down. Chiefs over the Bills, Bengals over the Titans, Packers over the don't tell me, over the Niners. And then I'm gonna y'all up.
Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Hey, I ain't mad at you if you do, because it's respectable.
I'm gonna take the Bucks, and the reason why is
okay.
And the reason why, but I was this close to picking the Rams. Bro, I have not seen anything like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers run defense, bro. It is something to behold. It's almost like watching poetry, bro. Because I'm like a real football player at heart, like, I don't mind watching good defense. Like, bro, their linebackers and D-line is so elite, bro. And they have so much speed on the field. It reminded me of shit when I was watching the Rams. It reminded me of them. I'm like, damn, they look like the fucking Bucks out here flying around. But I'm gonna give a slight edge to the Buccaneers just strictly off of their defense. I feel like they're gonna be able to stop what the Rams want to do, because the Rams, believe it or not, with Cam Akers returning, they want to run the ball and they want to set up the play action with Kupp and Odell off of that. And I think if they can stop the run, which I know they're going to be able to do, they've been the number one run defense all year in football. If they're able to stop the run, it's going to force Matthew Stafford to, hey, go get in a shootout with Tom Brady. And I just don't think he's going to be efficient enough. I think it's going to warrant some wayward throws. And I think the Bucks, you could see the Bucks getting out of there 31-27, 34-27 Bucks.
Yeah, no, the Bengals. Well, I know the Bills played the Chiefs earlier this season, and they beat the Chiefs. Um, the Rams
Not
beat the
happening
Bucks
again.
earlier this season as well. I can't remember if it was the Bengals or the Titans, or I want to say maybe the Niners beat Green Bay earlier this season.
I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie. Bro, did y'all see Jimmy Garoppolo's eyes in the fourth quarter, bro? Like the camera started cutting to that man, bro. When scared, if scared was a person, like dude was seeing like double out there, and it's like every time he get in the fourth quarter, bro, he just throw a pick in the playoffs. It's like he can't help himself. Jimmy Garoppolo, it's like
hey, it's like
he gonna throw one.
like
Super
Pookie
Bowl
Dude.
don't
It's
matter.
be calling me, man. The picks be calling me.
Like to the point to where it's like unreal. And you can see it on Kyle Shanahan's face. Kyle Shanahan, like, I know this not trying his hardest to get his game away. And you can see it in the play calling. Yep, we handed the ball off, nigga. Yeah, you want to pass it to Debo? Yeah, we heard you. Debo, get that running back. Want to give you the ball so bad. Get that running back, Debo. We're going to give you a long handoff, son. We not trusting you through the air because you will literally shatter our hopes and dreams, bro. Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance is definitely the future there in San Fran, but I think it's going to be a matchup again. A-Rod versus Tom, NFC Championship, and then you got young JB, young Joe versus Kermit. It's gonna be good.
O'Neal, who you got? Bucks or the Rams?
Damn, I don't know why I keep going against Tom Brady, but I'm going with the Rams, man. Damn. Yeah, I know.
You want to put some money on that, brother?
Kind of do, but I kind of.
Sedacious.
Cool little 10
Bengals
piece
or
out
the
there for
Titans.
you if you want it.
Bengals
Cooler
or
10 to 20
Titans?
piece if you want it.
Exactly, you know,
The
game time
who are the
decision.
Titans?
Bengals
Okay.
or the Titans?
I gotta go with old Joe, man.
You saying old Joe like this?
Niners or Green Bay?
Yeah, 24.
Oh no, you know I'm going Green Bay. The Niners.
Rams or the Bucks?
I'm gonna go Buccaneers, man.
Got to. I can't pick against the old man. I just can't do it. They lost too much money doing it. Lost too much money doing it. Oh, we know who you picking in. Come on.
Who?
Bills or Kansas City? Or the Chiefs? Bills or the Chiefs, man? Don't say that.
Hang up right now.
I'm gonna have to go with Kansas City.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, make me show you today.
So, Coach Johnson, he's not on, obviously, but I got him penciled down for the Bills for sure because we all know he's rooting against the Chiefs' failure in the playoffs. I don't know the rest of it, but
I can't wait till they get out there and and Patrick Mahomes just lighten it up again, bro. Honestly, because
I was watching the Bucks play yesterday. Oh, not the Bucks. The Rams go up against Arizona, and I was just like, okay, they beat them earlier this year. Okay, but I channeled my basketballism inside the gridiron, and I just think about the legendary quote from the legendary Mark Jackson. It's like, great offense beats great defense any day of the week. And so, even if it didn't, I was still gonna ride out on that Tom Brady hill.
hey, boy, that ain't no bad hill to down.
You know, so I definitely got the Bucks over the Rams. I got Green Bay over the Niners. I got Kansas City over the Bills. And I think I'm gonna go with Jody Joe, man. I think I'm gonna go with Jody Joe, man.
Little Jody with Ryan.
Oh, but no. So Sedacious over 300 yards, 5 TDs, no INTs, 21 for 25. Do you yet believe, or are you still not converted?
No.
Why not, bro?
Josh Allen must have.
Kanye.
You on the Kanye? You hate.
No, no, he don't. I'm sorry. I mean, the defense put him in great. The defense is good too. The defense is great as well.
I mean, but like, is he?
They
not?
haven't been that great this year.
They've been putting this in favorable positions. They've been winning this games. It's just not. It's just not it for me. I mean,
don't worry, bro. All that coming to an end this weekend anyway. Tell me.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, hey, if the Chiefs don't, if they let him break contain and he extends plays with his legs, then yeah, we'll continue to say that Josh Allen is amazing. But it could come to an end. The Chiefs could be the team that puts the scheme together to show you who Josh Allen is.
Brother, it ain't happening. They ain't beating the Chiefs. I haven't seen it yet. The only who was able to beat Patrick in the playoffs is Tom. That's literally the only people we've seen. Like, literally. It was Tom Brady first time on the Patriots, and then it was to the NFC and was like, all right, I see you in the bowl this time instead of the championship game. All right, bet. That's the only thing. Like y'all do realize that, right? Patrick Mahomes has only lost to one person his entire NFL life in the playoffs.
Bro, did Matthew Judon play against the Bills? I don't remember seeing Matt Judon playing.
Matthew Judon plays for the Patriots.
No, he plays for the Patriots.
Did he play against the Bills?
Yeah, he played it, yeah.
Okay.
And got sent home by Josh Allen.
I don't remember Matt Judon playing, but okay.
I just can't believe
how right?
Yeah, he played D-line.
I just can't believe how Coach Johnson can really sit up here and hate on the Bill. What honestly was he gonna say? Like, come on, bro. 5 touchdowns, 400 yards. It really would have been more than that if they didn't want to run up the score. They really around could have had 50, 60. Low key.
This probably wouldn't. This would probably enhance Sedacious reasoning for not believing. I mean, with Josh Allen, got the Bills' #1 ranked defense points per game this season. But Dacious, bro. Okay, they play great defense, so they top 10 defense or whatever. They not throwing 5 touchdowns though, bro, in the playoffs, bro.
Well, I mean, I think the Buffalo Bills the epitome of complimentary football. So I mean,
okay. So is it that it's not that you don't respect Josh Allen, you just don't respect him on a tier that everybody would try to deem him like an elite quarterback. And even if the Bills defense was trash, Josh Allen would still carry the team. Is it just that you're not putting him up there, but nonetheless you respect him to be a decent enough quarterback that could win you a playoff game or two, or you just flat out not rocking with the belief of Josh Allen in any way to possibly win you a Super Bowl?
No, I don't think you can put the team on Josh Allen's back. Sorry, defense, and they're going to get a Super Bowl. I just don't believe it. But then you would say, well, what player could you do that with? And I actually saw that do that. And his name is Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? We had to whack his defense around. Still a pretty okay defense, but defense wasn't that good. Then later on in Peyton Manning's career, he had a defense to drag him to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, like I said, complimentary football, middle, what how does Christian say it? Middle of the pack quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I will say this. I will give the Josh Allen people this. I do feel like him and Dak Prescott might be neck and neck as far as their abilities. That's just my personal opinion. Some would give Josh Allen the head. That's cool. I ain't tripping on that. You get to do that because Josh Allen's still in the playoffs. But with Dak not being able to run, with not running, yeah, you know better than Josh Allen to me now.
Unpopular opinion: Josh Allen is a better runner of the football than Dak Prescott. He's more
Oh, now
athletic.
he is because injured and scared to move.
No, it was pre-injury as well.
No, he wasn't.
He was definitely okay. That's the
No.
Cowboy side of you coming out. I ain't gonna fight
No.
you on it.
That it's never no
bro.
Cowboy side of me coming down. Josh Allen could never
was
extend
more
the play
athletic than Dak
how Dak
Prescott.
Prescott could on his best day. On his best day, he can't
with
extend the
his
play
legs better than Dak
and
Prescott.
dot mob. No, he's just a tad bit bigger. So he run through tackles.
And faster.
Well, that's personal opinion.
Personal opinion for personal opinion, beautiful people. Our picks will be posted for the divisional round. Coming up, you got the Bengals versus the Titans, the Bills versus the Chiefs, the 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers, as well as the Rams versus the Bucks. Earlier in the season, the Rams beat the Bucks, as well as earlier in the season, the Bills beat the Chiefs. And I could be wrong, but I also believe the Niners beat Green Bay earlier this season. Derrick Henry is expected to be back in the Bengals versus Titans game. The Titans have home field advantage. And so we will see how Hendall will be looking. And yeah, like I said, you can follow us at Emax Stats, at Shonhard Izzo, at Black_Peace, at Sedacious, at Live the Rapper, at Quaz the Motor, and get at us about our picks, our predictions. We're gonna keep on rocking like we've been rocking. As always, we do not take you beautiful people listening to us for granted. And we will be back next week with another great episode. This is the Respect the Game podcast. We will see you beautiful people next week.